Hello, hello. This is Koi, Queen Koi, aka. So they're all out of content. But this is Queen Koi here. My channel talks about spiritual entrepreneurship, creative souls, and my multi passionate people. This is a tarot reading that will tap into blocks. Okay? What is blocking you right now? I really like to talk about blocks because I use a lot of cards to work through my internal blocks and just understand my own self-reflection and self-awareness. All right, so no particular things I want to talk to right now. I just want to get into this reading. If you stay to the end of the message, then you may be able to hear a few things extra. All right, but until then, let's get into these blocks. All right, I do want you to check the links below. Click like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you for coming. Clearly, this message may be meant for you if you stumbled across this and felt gravitated towards this, okay? Let's get into this block message. What is blocking you right now? My lovely spiritual entrepreneur, creative soul, multi-passionate person. What is blocking you right now? Okay, are we in the camera? Yes, we are. So what's blocking you right now is like your patience. No, seriously, you do have something on your heart. You have something on your mind. There's an idea. There's these creative juices flowing right now, but you're not quite sure how to execute it. For some of you, you just aren't used to tapping into your passions or desires. This Queen of Wands energy is like, hello, I'm here, baby. Some of you might not be used to being seen. But like, there's something about you that you are somewhat hiding and not utilizing your own power with. We're going to tap in a little bit deeper with this. All right, because this is kind of quite forward, but I feel like you're a very magical person. I mean, of course you are. You're on my channel. I attract a lot of magical people, and this is kind of why I do what I do. Not only tarot, but I help women tap into their creative powers and connect with their creative soul, their creative spirit, and I guide them through the process of what they're creating, because a lot of times we are dealing with trauma, we are dealing with stress, we are dealing with so much, all of the above. Let's talk about the block, the creation, as I speak this. This is the crown chakra too. I would assume this, and she's already crowned, right? Let's put her here. You know, she's Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. On the back of the card, we have forgiveness, though. In this deck, I think the grays are the crown chakra, or it might just be something else. I kind of don't feel like looking. But for me, I'm deeming this to be more of the purple, to be more of the intuition, the third eye chakra. Because that's just kind of how I want to do it. I brought it up because I was going to say something, but I honestly really want to get into this message a little bit deeper with y'all, because I feel that I'm speaking to someone that's very magical, that has either scratched the surface of their creative gifts or just not utilizing it that much, because there's like a deep wound here. And to me, I feel like, the advice would be to be patient, right? But I don't want to give advice yet, because we're not done here. We're not done. We're halfway through here, all right? So you're definitely at this pause, though. You may be on the brink of transformation, as you do creativity, there are steps and phases through your creativity. And for some, you may be at the very beginning of that inception phase where you're just like, oh yeah, I have this idea, like this is on my heart, but I don't know if I should share it with people. I don't know what I should do, right? For others, I kind of feel like you're just at this stuck phase, this impasse, and you thought it out, but you know you need to think it out some more because you came across some type of it's like, oh yeah, I love this, and then it's like, I don't know. So let's go further. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords, please. Clarify the Ace of Swords. Let's get one more card. Yes. Okay. So I think that I'm speaking to majority of people that just got this idea here, right? But they didn't realize how deep it was. Like looking at this Hermit card here, right? It's like, I have to go a little bit deeper. You're excited about this, you know, this was sitting on your heart. This landed on your heart. And was like, oh, I'm feeling this. I'm really feeling this. But then at the same time, you realize like, whoa, this is like bigger than what I thought this was. Like at first you thought the idea was this little light bulb that was just went off like bloop. And then now it's like, wait a second. I went a little further and now all of a sudden it's this big bear right here, right? Like you might be getting afraid, like, I don't know if I want to go further because what else will I discover, right? Or you're just like, okay, I have to sit with this. I really have to sit with this. I just didn't think that this was going to be as big as I thought it was, you know? I don't know if you're telling anyone. I kind of feel like you're kind of keeping this to self here, which is a good idea. Because honestly, in the inception phase, I speak about creativity as giving birth, which is why I like to call myself the creative doula. Because, like, when you're first pregnant in your first trimester, it's very tricky. You know, there can be a lot of complications with that. It's a sensitive phase where you can actually lose the baby, right? And for a lot of women that I know, they kind of don't really talk about like, hey, I'm pregnant. Some women don't even know they're pregnant until like 2 months them gone by. You know what I mean? Not many people know like, hey, I'm a month pregnant. You know, by the 3rd month, usually, I don't know what type of lifestyle you have. Some women don't, and there could be complications. Very much stories about that, right? But needless to say, right? Let's go back to the creative part, the idea. There can be multiple levels and layers to why you may have been stopping, right? You might not even deem yourself creative for some. But there's a lot of creativity on your heart. I know that your inner child is creative. Most people's inner childs are creative because, you know, creation starts with that jovial energy, that happiness, that paradise, that bliss, right? But to get to the grounded sense of creativity, right? From idea, right? That energy that's unseen to actually in your reality in a physical standpoint, there's some trials and tribulations. There's definitely a trial and error phase, right? And if you wind up giving up, almost looking like this picture right here, you might not meet full term, right? Let's see. Let's clarify the Queen of Wands here. Speaking of Queen of Wands, yeah. See, you're trying to figure it out. We're going to pull another card because some of you might be thinking about money already. And I speak this because I've had a bad habit of thinking about money too. Like in the first phase of creation. Like, oh my God, this is really good. Like my intuition is telling me it's good, right? And I'm pumping myself up. Sometimes I tell people, I'm like this because I've been changing that. Other times, a lot of times I would be like, oh my God, like I can make money. Like this is gonna be something big, right? But then when I finally hit something big, then it's like, whoa, let me just sit down for a second and gather my thoughts because I know I need a strategy. But then, you can wind up getting distracted. You can wind up talking yourself out of things. Seven of Wands. Are you determined enough to reach the other side of the gate, the bridge, right? Um, do you see yourself worthy that you can hold this to full term? Do you see yourself worthy? Let me stop talking about it in babies and mothers. But do you see yourself worthy to meet your goal, right? To make it physical. Do you know that you're abundant regardless? No one's going to steal your ideas because you're abundant, right? No one's going to not show up because you're abundant, right? The right people are going to show up the way you need it, the timing you need it, right? Um, do you know you're abundant because the well won't run dry, especially when you're leaning on spirit? These ideas will continue to flow, but you have to be in flow as well. Let's get one more card for the Queen of Wands in this block here, because I kind of feel like you might be tapping in to. I really think that you're thinking about money, or you're thinking it's like you're putting the cart before the horse, as they say, or as my mom would say. And if you imagine that, right, the horse usually goes, right? But if the cart's in front of it, then it's like the horse is like, I don't know what's going on. The horse is usually pulls the cart, right? And it's like we're doing a few things, getting ahead of ourselves. That's what I think. And yes, it can be very exciting. And yes, you could be tapped into your intuition and you just know, right? You just know that this is going to be good. But again, remember there is a process. There is a divine timing with things, especially when we're talking about creation, when we're talking about co-creating with the universe. And when things don't line up in time for us, we get discouraged. Um, when people say certain things that we once valued, or we may value their input, right, and they don't say the things that we wanted them to say, we get discouraged, right? And then it hits these little wounds, i.e. little person childhood wounds here that are really coming to the surface because of the creation, but we're not really thinking of it like that. We're just thinking of it like, why do I feel this way? Let me tell you, today I had two outbursts that made me feel like my day was like, ooh, and it was like, then it was like, ooh, then boom. And sound effects, right? But I knew, I sat with myself because as I'm recording this, it is a full moon. It's a full moon in Scorpio and it's a lunar eclipse. And Scorpio always hits deep for me because of certain placements in my astrological chart that deal with my emotions and affect my moon sign already. So Scorpio is in my 4th house. Astrology people, if you know, you know, right? So it's like, here we go again on this freaking roller coaster. And I have to be the parent to my inner child. And because I've worked with my inner child, I'm not claiming that I'm an expert because I'm not, but I've had to dive really deep into my childhood wounds, regulating my emotions because I'm an emotional motherfucker, okay? I am very emotional. I have learned emotional intelligence, but I am highly sensitive and what do they call it? Clear sentience, I think. I need to stop saying that because I'm not sure, but I think that's the clear feeling thing, right? AKA empath. And all the above, right? And enough with the labels, though. I've had to learn how to feel my own feelings instead of other people's, right? So knowing these things, it's like, you know what you know, Why are you putting yourself through this? Stop, pause, take a breath, and figure some stuff out. You know what I mean? It's okay to feel whatever in the moment. I needed some water, y'all. It's okay to feel whatever in the moment, but it it's okay to feel whatever in the day. But like, there's a process. Remember, there's a process to everything. There's an ebb and flow, and if you're trying to catch that flow and ride that wave, uh, being present is going to be the best thing for you, right? So let's start talking about this advice. Let's clarify the Seven of Pentacles here. We got Pentacles. Oh, we have every sign here, right? Air, water, fire, and earth. Clarify the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, just what we needed. And look at this. Universe. You're very anxious about what's going on. You're anxious about the redirection or possibly having to do it for the umpteenth time over, right? These trial and errors. But guess what? It may not be trial and error. I'm hearing right now, this is the development. It's not trial and error. It's development. It's expansion. Universe. And it's better to expand your perspective instead of expanding the anxiety. No, seriously, I don't know if you can expand your anxiety, but practice the pause, right? Because do you really want to keep going and burn yourself out? Or do you really want to keep going in the same direction that you usually do, which winds up being self-sabotage, and then you're back at huffing and puffing and blowing the house down, right? Let's see. Let's get a card for my very first, I guess you could call this an oracle deck, where this really was a collection of my quotes. Oh, here we go. I really hope you can see this. Yeah. If you don't learn to control your thoughts, Nine of Swords, you'll never learn how to control your behavior. What was I just talking about? Emotional intelligence. Emotional regulation. Thought. Creativity. Okay, so I don't know if anybody in here knows about human design, but in human design, there's something called projectors, right? And not only projectors, I think you can also, there's different, I think there's 4. Is it 4? No, it's 5 different categories of archetypes and auras, right? But there's, within each 5, there's different types. And if you're the emotional type, which guess what, guys, I am, you'll have these highs and lows, right? Because sometimes with creativity or news or anything that triggers you in a way of excitement, right? You emotional, you get triggered a lot of times, honestly, but many times through creation, right? You get triggered, really excited about this idea, and you're like, yeah, let's do this, let's take on the world. And then you just kind of lose steam, and then you're just like, oh, I'm not really liking this shit. But you have to weigh it out, because your intuition taps into your emotions, but it's not always what it is. Okay? And this is where it gets really tricky, and this is when you need to know yourself a little bit more, because just because you're feeling good and high and great off of a new idea does not mean that this is your intuition speaking that this is where you need to go. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. And you have to really be able to not be on the low or the high, but be in the middle, in the balance, and in the present, so you can really truly feel at the center point what is the best move, and really tap in to the center and allow yourself to be open to listen to spirit, and open to be aligned with your intuition, so you can hear it clearly and trust yourself with confidence. Okay? So this is what I have for you. Um, if you don't learn to control your thoughts, you will never learn how to control your behavior. And again, I feel like your block here, you're very creative, but you may sometimes judge yourself or um, lose discernment, right? Because of these emotions or um, what your mind is saying, right? And not really truly listening to your heart, right? Kind of allowing your ego to get in the way. So, which will go reflect to your inner child. So, what I have to say here is really stop, pause, know that it's okay. If you're looking like this lovely lady down here, give yourself a hug, step away, eat some ice cream. Don't eat the whole pint, but do something fun. Go out in nature, talk to your plants, something, right? Step away, because there is this transitional phase here where you get fidgety. Things feel like they're going wrong, and things just aren't working on your timing. But the thing that you can do is control your emotions. That would give you so much advantage and so much balance for when you can actually be in that centered moment in time, like I'm talking about, right? Where you can actually be open to receive and see things and feel things in confidence and clarity. All right. That is my message that I have for you. I hope that this message fills you, is received well. I was going to say fill you with joy, but it's received well. And, if you're looking for more guidance and inspiration, definitely subscribe, hit that like button, and definitely comment below. If you're already subscribed and you're feeling the vibe, you know what to do. Comment below. I like to see them comments. Definitely like. And if you haven't already, check out the links below. You can check out my business. Okay, I got some things cooking up. And I also have a Queen of Wands Club. Okay, go figure. She's up in here. Um, Queen of Wands Club is for my creative souls and my spiritual entrepreneur babies, okay? My women of color, okay? My women that are here to express from their creative hearts, but they're just having some trouble here, right? And again, you may be burnt out. You may be just dealing with a lot of things, and you may just really looking for more resources or more help and support, and I'm definitely here to do that. So check out the links below. Oh yeah, get on my mailing list so you can be updated with new content and courses that be coming up, okay? All that jazz, all right? Until next time, y'all, I'm outie. Peace.